opportunity comes to meet someone, we don't know that we're not clamming up. You know,
Right.
we don't know, well, can I say this or can I say that? And you mentioned before when you were here, you have a meet and greet. Was it Meet the Blind?
It's Meet the Blind Month.
Meet the Blind. And we should do that.
Every October, we do this here in Mobile at the Mobile Public Library, and we have Meet the Blind Month, and it's sponsored by the National Federation of the Blind, and we have the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services there, and different vendors, and people who sponsor blindness and different technologies. We have people there who have readers, electronic readers and things that assist blind people, and we just kind of have a forum, and everyone talks and just try to advocate for blindness and teach the public some of the things that are going on, bring some of our issues to light,
Sure.
and just let everyone see us.
I know that when I take off my glasses or my contact lenses, I feel like I'm half blind anyway. I mean, really, I can't even see my hand in front of my face. It's just terrible. So I know that when somebody finds out that they're going blind or that they're becoming blind, it must be a great fear that they have, because especially if they've seen already that they aren't going to be able to see, and that's how we come out seeing
Right.
and hearing. So how do you talk to them when they're afraid and they don't, they've never experienced this before, it's a new part of their life. When they come to the Federation, what is going to be said to encourage them and how to move on? And that is not the end, it's just a new great beginning.
Naturally, I mean, you would be fearful. I was fearful
Absolutely.
naturally. The first thing that I was like, what am I going to do? Fortunately for me, my mother also has glaucoma, and she was the actual president of our Mobile chapter of NFB when I, lost the amount of vision to where it was substantial enough I couldn't drive anymore. And, that's the number one thing, as a man, you
Sure.
go drive, and that's how you have your solace and do your thing. But that being taken away from me and being in the midst of, my career, it was a devastation for me. So I needed support. And basically what the NFB will do is help you assess your life and help you become more confident with skills and training that they can help give you by attending a NFB training center and getting that support and learning to use Braille, learning to use a cane, learning the computer skills, the non-visual computer skills, and just having that support and that backbone.
Now I didn't think about that. How did you get here?
Actually, I had someone drive me.
I don't think about that.
That does become a big issue.
Sure.
Transportation and running a business is a big issue, and just as a regular person, it's a big thing. Getting around, you either have to catch a taxi or things like that.
Yeah.
But actually, believe it or not, they're coming up with a car that will use GPS, and it's already actually been tested. Maybe like 2 years ago, I had a chance to actually see it. I had a chance to sit in the car. It's sponsored by Google and NFB.
I've seen it.
They're getting together, and hopefully in the next few years we can get some of this transportation here for blind people.
Awesome. I'm gonna regress. I thought about, and I want to ask you this question: when I meet somebody that is blind, and and you correct me because I'm just guessing. I guesstimate. You've been able to see. You could see for a while. When a person that is blind, when they see, and I know they see in color, so does that go back and associate with what that everything is based on what they were seeing it before,
Yes.
and then they evolve that with what they're touching and feeling and tasting and hearing?
Yes, your brain never really forgets, so
Yeah.
it knows what things used to look like
Yeah.
if you were a person who had vision before, or even in my case, residual vision. Sometimes I can't see things, and I use my brain to,
Sure.
this is what this was, or this is how this feels, or and for maybe a child who was born blind and never had sight, they don't know what to
Red,
miss.
yeah.
So in that case, they jump right into Braille and those things like that.
Do you think it's harder for someone that was born blind or for someone who has seen and has lost their sight?
I think it's harder for someone who has seen and lost their sight because, like I was saying, a child who was born blind, they learn just like any other child, and that's when their brain is more stimulated when they're a child. You teach a young child Braille, I mean, they'll catch on to it really fast. It's kids who can read Braille, 200 words a minute. That's faster than the visual
Absolutely.
a person can see it. So, it's always good to actually think about, hey, I had vision, but look at what this person can do who's never had vision before. So in my case, losing the vision, it was a big deal, and I wish that I would have had the training earlier as a kid, so that when I lost my vision, I would be able to use some of those techniques that I'm using now.
Now, is Braille hard to learn? Because I'm trying to learn Spanish right now, and it is not being retained. So is Braille hard to learn?
Having a great teacher and just having that focus and having the backing is not, it took me maybe about 9 months to learn it. And in my case, I got to about 60, 65, 66 words a minute. Wow. But it's based on the feeling in your fingertips and using the flat part of your fingertips to feel where each cell is in the Braille alphabet. And after you get to reading it, and especially if you're reading things you're really interested in, you'll jump right into it.
How often do you get new members? I know that it just depends, but we think that we don't think about the population, and because we don't see or acclimate or know the population, we think there's not that many people. But tell me how big the blind population here is in our area, and how important it is that you all are there.
In actuality, there's a lot of blind people, and unfortunately there are some who are not a part of the NFB here in Mobile, and we try to reach out to them. We actually just had our meeting last Saturday, and we had 2 new members come, which was great, to always get new members. And a lot of times, doctors it's not their responsibility to say, hey, you're getting blind and you need to be a part of this support group. So in our case, we just try to be out there in the community so we can make sure that they see us, and then we give them all the information and support that we can give them.
What can a family do if they have a loved one that's losing their sight? And I know that has to be difficult because you're going to probably get a few glasses broken, and a few things are going to happen. That's inevitable. But what can a family member do to be supportive in this? I mean, we're kind of selfish. We know it's difficult on the family, but you're not the one, you're in transition, but you're not the one that's losing your sight. So what can family members do to be sympathetic, but as well be empowering and help that person to move on?
First, I guess we try to educate themselves on what's happening to their loved one, and let them know that you're supporting them and you understand that it's a characteristic of their personality. It's not something that defines them. Sure. Now that you're blind, you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, there are blind doctors, lawyers, and everything. So the sky's the limit as far as what you can achieve and what you can do being a blind person.
What training is available for someone who is blind or who is losing their sight or has lost their sight? What training is available that can help them live an independent and better life?
Well, starting out as a child, I think the first thing, especially if that child's very young, that Braille should be the first thing that they learn. I mean, I can't stress how important the Braille is, because as far as education goes, if the child is, for instance, learning large print and the teacher is focusing on large print and not Braille, as that child goes older, what if they lose more vision? If they had the Braille in the beginning, they'd still be able to, compete with other children and be able to be educated and not looked upon as this child has a learning disability, in which it's not a learning disability. They're smart as the other children. They just need to be able to have that training. And that's where what we call TBS teachers come in. They're teaching blind students. They have a program at Louisiana Tech University, and a lot of graduates from Louisiana Center for the Blind go there, and they learn this and they're able to teach the blind students. And that's one of the big things that we really support, the Braille first. And once you get the Braille first, the mobility training comes next, and the computer skills and just the overall confidence builders.
We're living the way we're living in America. Everybody needs to know Spanish. Do you feel that maybe it would be a great idea for when kids are in school that they may, experience Braille, experience what it's like to be able to read it and just make it a part of education?
Definitely. I mean, not only Braille, but American Sign Language.
Oh, absolutely.
Things like that are really good things for college students doing right now, and also children in regular schools.
Now, what is a chief? I was told to ask you about that, and are you one?
A chief?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I mean, I'm a chef. I'm a chef.
A chef.
Yeah.
Tell me what made you want to do cooking? I know a lot of times that when we are faced with something, it makes us, I guess, a little fearful. But when we go in, what made you want to do that? Because you knew you were going to face some obstacles.
Well, I started cooking back in '99, and I had a good amount of vision then. I was still driving, and that's what I wanted to do. I started off here in Mobile at the Adams Mark Hotel, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia to attend culinary school. And after that, I worked in a boutique hotel for about 10 or 12 years, worked myself up to being an executive chef there. But it's always been a passion, to be in the kitchen, and I look at it more as art, and creating dishes and making beautiful things and making them taste good. So, I just kind of kept working at my profession.
Do you think you have an advantage? Because I know a lot of times when somebody has a loss of the 5 senses, that the other ones are accelerated. So do you think you have an advantage because, you have heightened sensibilities?
Actually, I'm so happy to be on this forum and be able to let everyone know that is a myth. The heightened senses thing.
No spidey senses.
I mean, it's not heightened.
Right.
What it is you don't use your ears as much, and you don't use maybe your sense of touch as much. So if you take away vision, you just start using them to their full capacity. I mean, we don't use the same.
Let us keep thinking that it was Spider-Man type senses and stuff.
It's not the spidey senses. I'm sorry, and I mean we don't use all the senses in our brain. So
right.
Once you start using them and compensating for it, it seems like you're super human, but actually we aren't.
We have about a minute left. What is the one thing you want our viewers to go away with in this program? Is it a myth you want to bust? Is it something that you want them to know about the blind? Tell me what you want them to know as we say goodbye today.
Please, everyone, go to nfb.org. Please talk to your congressmen, your state representatives. Let's try to get some bills passed to help the blind people here. We have the quiet cars that are really hard for blind people to navigate around. Some of the kiosks and things that are not good for blind people to navigate with, the ATM machines. Just please talk to your congressman, go to nfb.org, find out some of the things that we have going on and help support us. And, thank you so much to everyone.
Absolutely. It's great to find a cause that you can support. So I enjoyed this program with you, Mr. Walker. So awesome. Please, I know you enjoyed the program. Please write us at TBN Post Office Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711. And I love our website, www.tbn.org. Anything you want to know about our station and our network, you can find it right there. We'll see you next time on Join Our Town. Bye-bye.
This program has been sponsored by the Trinity Broadcasting Network and made possible by your telethon dollars. Your continual support can keep Joy in Our Town brought to your home every day. So write Joy in Our Town, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711. Or contact us on the web at www.tbn.org.